All right, guys, I almost bought and spent a bunch of money on a semi-in-ground pool here instead of buying a piece of land. Since the last video, I was able to get that land deal done. So unless something crazy happens, we will be the owners of a 35-acre parcel not too far from here. With that being said, I have a lot of stuff to get done. I'm really leaning towards selling this and moving there and building a new home. But I gotta fill this back in. There were 4 trees here that I took down. They were cedar trees. My plan was to take those down regardless of whether I was putting a pool in here. They were cedar trees and they were starting to kind of block the view. They were pretty close to the house. So this would have been messed up anyway, but I'm gonna take the time, get this filled back in. I kept all of the kind of clay, sandy clay in one pile and then all the topsoil in another, so I'll put all that back. I gotta cut all these roots off right here, and then I'll get this filled back in. I have my son mowing. You guys have a property, you know, during the summer, mowing is a major ordeal. It takes a while. We had to do some fix up on the mower. All right, guys, you can see my mower is on jacks. There's no tires on it. That's because I ripped the sidewall on one of the mower tires. I bought that mower new in 2012, so I've had it for quite a while, and I've never had to put new tires on it, but ripped the sidewall, so I cannot fix that. So I decided, since when I originally bought this, I was on pretty flat property, and I'm on pretty hilly property now, and I slide every once in a while. So I took this opportunity to get a little bit more aggressive tire. So I'm going to switch these tires out, and I have to get the tires off of the rim. Let Moo just put the nuts on and then we'll tighten them. Okay. Okay, they go on the rounded part first, okay? Can you get it on or you need help? We'll just start them all, okay? That side on first.
It's the rounded side.
All right, put it up to number 2.
What's number 2?
Right there.
Ooh.
All right, so since we had to change the tires on this, I decided that we should do a full service, which, by the way, the oil filter, air filter, and oil cost me about $100. And then as we were pulling out, I looked around the corner, and wouldn't you know, there is a Timber Rattler. Real life Timber Rattler right there, folks. I don't know about you guys, but I find these things super creepy. We have a bunch of limestone on the west side of our property. We typically see 2 to 3 of these a year. Now that I got the mower tires changed, it's serviced and cleaned up, and I have my son out mowing, I can get back to filling this hole in. Alright guys, I got it all filled in. Took me probably about an hour and a half of grading, filling it in, grading, and as I got started, I started packing it every like 6-12 inches just so I could reduce settling, but now I'm going to drag it. And then we have this giant oak tree right here. This thing is amazing. It is absolutely gorgeous in the fall. So I'm going to clear out, I've wanted to do this for a long time, and I'm going to mow all this down around it and plant grass, because I think it'd be amazing if that was kind of part of the yard. So got my buddy's brush mower. Got to take it back today, so I'm going to just do this quick, and then I'll run that back. But I think this is going to make a big difference in how this looks. I'll flip around and get a shot of it before and then after. Alright guys, that is what 5 minutes with a brush cutter does. Look how beautiful that is. If I get that all in grass, then you have this giant oak tree there. That is amazing. Got all my grass seed spread. I just use this Earthway seeder. This thing works really good. I use it for a lot of my food plots like turnips, clover, stuff like that, but it works great for grass when you're just doing a small spot. And you can pick these things up for a reasonable price online too. All right, we are going to fix this piece of metal. This has literally been like this for like 3 years. I hit it with the fork of the skid steer and then never replaced it, so looks like it's notched around that way. So I'll take that panel off, take it over, go make a new one and put it on. Problem is, when I put the new one on, it's gonna be much cleaner. So I'm gonna have to clean the metal of this house maybe before I list this thing for sale. When I bend flashing for windows, I just take a little scrap piece and I go over and I find where my bends need to be. And then that gives me kind of a little template. All right, there are my two sides. I will have to notch them. And so I gotta go get down to the shop and get a bigger roll, wide enough roll for the bottom. So I started with the bottom piece of trim, then did the two sides, then did the underneath part, and then I made an L that overlapped the underneath and tucked up behind the metal. And then we put sealant along all the seams. So these windows are good to go. Could have done that a long time ago because it took me, I don't know, about an hour window. All right guys, I got a few projects done the last few days. I got my trailer loaded with the hydronic system. So I'm going to be heading to Missouri here soon to install that, but I'm pumped. I'm super excited. We pretty much decided that we are going to sell the Mad County build and this property and do another self-build. There's lots of reasons why, but I'm super excited to take you kind of through the whole process of planning and going through the process of self-building. Our journey is probably going to look a little bit different than yours. I'm going to be sharing more of that soon. There's lots of things that have happened in the last few days that are going to kind of determine the path we take to make this happen. We got to have a place to live and stay after we sell this. So it's going to be exciting. Hopefully you guys will enjoy the journey. I want to do as many videos as I can to help people navigate this process because it is a lot to chew off, but it can be done. It's not easy, it's not comfortable, but boy is it fun and rewarding when you get it done. So as always, we appreciate you guys watching. If you haven't already, hit that subscribe button, hit that like button, share with your friends, and don't stop dreaming.